welcome back to you. France has unveiled a new tax to target digital giants such as Google, Amazon and Facebook. The plan was outlined yesterday by the French Finance Minister Bruno, Maire.
It will concern only the biggest digital companies with two cumulative tax threshold conditions: 750 million of revenue of digital activities in the world and 25 million of revenue made in France.
But it hasn't gone down well with some of the tech companies, perhaps unsurprisingly. Let's get some more with our European Affairs correspondent, Stéphane de Vries, who's in Paris. Morning to you, Stéphane. Why has the government chosen now to bring in this new tax law?
Good morning, Bill. Well, the French government has been trying to get this tax on a European-wide level, but the European countries and the European Union are too slow in the eyes of Bruno Le Maire, and that's why France decided to introduce this new tax now retroactively. As per the 1st of January of this year, the GAFAs, as they are called in France, Google, Amazon, Facebook and Apple, they will have to pay a tax on their turnover and not necessarily on their benefits. So that's a new tax Bruno Le Maire thought Europe needed, but the Europeans are not really convinced about this new French initiative. And then, of course, it's also a way of financing the means, the concessions that have been done to the yellow vests. The French government needs to find 11 billion euros to finance these new measures, and according to the French Finance Ministry, this new tax on the internet giants could raise about 500 million euros. And then, of course, it's also the start of the campaign for the European elections. So introducing a new tax by punishing or imposing on American companies a new tax, that could be seen as a good thing to the French voters. So a couple of reasons, but most of all, Bruno Le Maire was in a hurry. He didn't want to wait for Brussels, and that's the reason why France now introduces this new tax.
Of course, it's hardly surprising that the tech companies are not happy about it, but what exactly are they replying with?
Well, Facebook has said that since last year they already register all their turnover paid by French advertisers in France, so they already comply with the new rules. Other platforms like Airbnb and Uber, they've said that they are ready for this new tax, but Google said that it will be very difficult to decide exactly what amount of turnover is being made in France. And that's, of course, the difficulty, because usually taxes are levied on benefits, which are, well, easily to identify. But turnover, especially when it comes to internet giants, is very hard to identify where exactly does this money come from, because they have so many complicated fiscal structures that it's very hard to know where the money exactly comes from. And of course, this is also a way of France to fight tax evasions by internet giants, basically through countries like Ireland, Luxembourg or the Netherlands. These big companies are using legal structures to avoid paying not enough taxes. So this is one step into a new tax for France, and of course France hopes that this will be a European-wide tax imposed on internet giants.
All right, thank you very much, Stéphane de Vries there in Paris.